specific location, and then they added another one, and it turns out it is a pyramid. Mount Kilimanjaro is a pyramid.
Oh, is it?
I kept saying I have to blow it up. I have to blow it up. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I saw it like a volcano, and I'm like, wait, is this a pyramid? And that makes sense to me. They said, yes, it is. So, oh boy, that's the best thing I can say. So the other day, I kept, like go through hell with my twin flame journey. We're all aware of that. I took a hit. I needed a lot of healing, so I gave it to myself for the last like 4 days. Yesterday, I had a very horrible migraine, so I was like a little nervous. I was like, oh gosh, I hope it goes away. And I'm just a little bit out of it, but they said I had to be prepared, like something big was coming. And what they're showing me is we're going to Myanmar, Indonesia, and Peru, which we're very familiar with because I activated FEMA ones there. Indonesia is on the equator line, okay? And then they took it to Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't know a lot about Mount Kilimanjaro, so I want to look because it was 111 right now because that came out of blue. So I just kept saying I got to blow it up. I was playing my drum and I'm like, I got to blow it up, but it makes sense that it's a pyramid. So let me look this up really quick. Mount Kilimanjaro. I think it's in Tanzania. So it's in Africa as well, which is not a coincidence, right? Because $2,000 to $6,000. Be quiet. I don't need a plane there. Thank you. Because we did ones in Kenya, and Uganda is also there. Okay. And that's in Africa anyways. Those are on the equator line. So this is all very, very relevant. I had no idea Mount Kilimanjaro was a volcano. I mean, I know it's a volcano. I had no idea it was a pyramid. I mean, did you guys? I had no idea. I had no idea it was a pyramid. Mount Kilimanjaro is a dormant volcano located in Kilimanjaro region of Tanzania. It has 3 volcanic cones, Kibo, Mwanzi, and Shira. Here, let me read it as a pyramid though. Mount Kilimanjaro, a pyramid. Located in Tanzania, it's African continent's highest peak, okay? So it's very, very big. It is very, very large. 5 facts about Mount Kilimanjaro. So welcome everybody, just so you know, this is kind of where we're going today. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest freestanding mountain in the world, you guys. Listen to the word too, like Alexa, what does Kilimanjaro mean?
Kilimanjaro usually refers to a volcanic mountain in Tanzania, highest peak in Africa, 19,321 feet, 5,889 meters.
Okay, well, they didn't give me the meaning of the word Kilimanjaro. It's a dormant volcano because, okay, so the prep for this, I just started playing my drum, right? I've just been sitting here. I feel so good right now. They're pulling my DM&I. There's like this heartstring they were creating, just a different one to make us really close and powerful for this. And I was playing my drum, and that's why I said I got to blow up Mount Kilimanjaro. And I'm like, what? Like, I got to blow up Mount Kilimanjaro. And I'm like, oh gosh, no, we got to activate Mount Kilimanjaro. Let's see what's unique about it. It's a volcano, has 3 cones. I'm just seeing if there's anything, and could erupt again. So Alexa, is Mount Kilimanjaro a pyramid? She didn't answer me. Is Mount Kilimanjaro a pyramid? Yes, but like, why is it not? Okay. It's also one of the 7 beautiful peaks. 7 summits. So I'm just seeing if there's anything else they want us to know about it. Other than apparently it is a pyramid and it's an active volcano or dormant volcano. and it is the world's biggest mountain. Okay, I don't know. I don't see anything else I need to know. So I'm just gonna let that go. I was like, holy crap. Okay. Brace myself here, brace myself. I do have the, I fixed the candles. So the first one we did, Juju, you'll catch up, I'm sure. I said all of them to you. So this one is from the very first one I lit these and I fixed them, and we're lighting them again to close this out. Okay. So Jesus and Mary Magdalene are already stepping forward. Saint Germain is already stepping forward with the Akashic records. Let me catch up on the chat here a little bit. Howdy y'all, how, wow, I know, right? She's like, comes into the biggest piece. She's like, oh my gosh. This is a big deal. Let me slow down my energy. I've just been getting so excited. I do have my masculine wands. I do have the same things we've been using for the whole entire time of my juniper oil. I think it's chrysanthemum, and then wood. Wood is very important. So they're calling in the elements of the earth. That's what I was doing. And then I said, I got to blow up Mount Kilimanjaro. And we're also going to Myanmar, Indonesia, and Peru. So these are the ones apparently, I mean, I don't know, I'm not going to assume anything. I'm like, apparently we're going to do the same ones, but no, that's not necessarily true. So we're just going to roll with it at this point. Okay, let me pull the cards first, slowing down my energy. The elements are very relevant today. And this is a big shift. They said I had to be prepared. So that's why they were warning me, is I had to be prepared. I don't know why I was having the worst migraines too. It's horrible. So I'm just so thankful it's not today. Like yesterday, I couldn't do anything. It was horrible. And then today's been catch up. So, and I have to put my avocado mask in my hair. So that's why it looks like it does. Okay. These are for the workshop. I am going to kind of call Gigi in through it all because she wasn't here originally, and this is the final vortex of it. So I'm going to kind of do that a little differently in the introduction so that she is pulled through all of them into this one, which is fine. No biggie, very easy. Gigi's been through a lot of my stuff, so she's not behind in activations too bad or anything like that. So no biggie at all. Cards so far are Ancient Future and Shine Your Light. This Shine Your Light card speaks volumes because I see it, as I said, I got to blow up Mount Kilimanjaro. Okay, balanced forces. Okay, and then endless opportunities. So with these activations, you guys, I talked about a lot how our past lives are combining, they don't matter anymore. And we are creating our future. So be very, very mindful of that what you speak is creation. It's in a big way. It's more potent than ever before. That's why, as they say, don't go into judgment. Just be very, very mindful of that because judgment's not of God. And in Judgment Day, right, we have to be very careful of that. So Earth, again, this came out, I believe, the last 2 times, I think, too. Yeah, Earth is very important card. Connect with the Earth. She will help balance us. But there's also big shifts for the Earth today. So that's what that's pointing to. Big shifts for the Earth today and balanced forces. This is, so remember, this is masculine. DM is also very here. He's just stepping in right now. I can feel his energy. Again, he has these crystals. It's like this special crystals. And I feel like he keeps them in a pouch. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but I am. Right. Okay, and then Krakatoa. So there's Kraken. There's something going on with that. So there's this underwater volcano that came out last time. And this has something to also do with Mount Kilimanjaro for some reason. Like they affect each other, I feel like. It's a line of, it's like a line of energetic force. We're going to see what all that means. And then again, what the world needs now is love, pure love. So people are going to get hit hard in the face. That kind of is what I'm seeing. Like this energy is going to be like a right smack in their face for where they're not in that light. especially after today. So be very mindful. Now, if you guys notice, there was a lot going on yesterday. There was 3 trains that collided, I think in Indiana or something like that. Hundreds of people are dead. All of this is relevant, okay? From the moment I started the first one in May, there's been big things happening, okay? The fires, if you notice that, they just all of a sudden spontaneously erupted, and I talked about that too. They say spontaneous, it's not. I would call it actives of the gods. And then shifting of mountains rather than shifting of tides, shifting of mountains. We're moving mountainsides. Be here in the now, okay? It's important to stay here in the now. If we travel too far out energetically, it mucks things up. So make sure you're taking the time to connect to the earth and be here in the now, okay, as much as you can. Time to collaborate, okay? Time to collaborate. This talks about working with spirit. Let's consider this, okay? The ascension is heart-centered. If we can't feel our heart, if we can't see the light, we're in trouble. What does that mean? We have spirits, we have guides, we have angels, we have a higher self, okay? It is super important to make sure that you are able to feel that, to hear that, to collaborate in that way. So what do you want your future to be? Make sure you're putting out that collaborative energy at all times, okay? Because 7D is way different than 3D, okay? It just is. Think on your feet. Okay, so don't think too deeply. Remember that it's energetic, it's feelings. And it's time to see a big picture. So this is a different perspective for the collective whole. This is not necessarily for us on this one. It's for the collective whole, especially, but us too. And again, know your worth. Okay, it's time for us to know our worth, but this is also pertaining to like taking our power back. Okay. All right, so with that being said, everything is good, everything is recorded. I've got my drum. I'm going to start my invocation completely, like my candles. It's the same energy, but again, I got to call Gigi through it all. And then today we get to close it out. Okay, so this is big. All right, so we have Jesus and Mary Magdalene coming forward. So what I'm seeing them do really quickly is they're putting like this cloth out, and it's like this. Okay, so I see myself and I'm quite large, and then I see my DM, okay, and we're like on two sides right here, but there's like this white silk linen pathway is what they're laying out. So almost like if you're on a red carpet, but this one's white, and it's going between myself and my DM. And then Jesus and Mary Magdalene are the ones doing this. They're putting this thing between our heart spaces. Oh, and they're combining our energy in a very, very, very big way. So there's no separation, no gap for this healing. No separation, no gap for this healing. Malachi is also helping. And they're like literally pulling my DM's energy right next to mine. It's very, very, very important and very relevant. So as they're doing that, I'm going to call Gigi's energy through day 1, day 2, and day 3 through all of those activations. Ecuador, through Colombia, Zimbabwe and Botswana. I think she was already involved in those because I feel her energy is there. Kenya. She will catch up too because I sent her the video. So we're just kind of pulling her energy through them. And into today. She will have to get upgrades. So you're going to get hit hard with a lot, Gigi. So just be mindful of the healing. Make sure you're in self-love. Okay. So they're putting up protections around Gigi and cleansing her energy. There's a little bit of like, I don't want to say like, you know how you have like red rays and gray energies and those kinds of things. So there's just like some dark attachments, some cores that they're cutting. We can call it that. Just being removed and cleansed. Any energies that are not of the higher light, of the higher vibration right now, that are not of you, are being removed. There's a bit of a hole in your bubble. Just a bit of like, just a little bit of giving the power away, a little tiredness right in the energy bubble. So they're healing that really quickly. And then you also have to get the 7D light code activation. So they're doing that really quickly for you. Because you're kind of skipping the other ones and coming into today. So they're making sure that you can receive today's and then go backwards as well. So Jesus and Mary Magdalene is doing like this thing between our heart space. It's different. It's not our normal connections. This is different. It's like amplifying the energy between us two because of the separation. So in the essence, there is no, you can't see a separation at all in the energy. And then also our solar plexus, our sacral, and our root are all getting the same kind of connection. It's this massive energetic pull. And then before we also get started, you guys are getting a DNA upgrade in your auditory canal so that you can understand the language as it is entering into your energy. Right? We may not understand as if I'm speaking Spanish or German or something, but it'll be felt in our heart. We'll know what's going on. Okay, so I call on the previous energies and activations and openings. We are right next to the Sphinx energetically again. Ooh. So the gods are already coming in and prepping. They're moving things. They're moving things. That's the best thing I can say along the earth. And I'm drawing a little bubble of like protection around us all. So it's like an energetic vortex, kind of how I do like a tornado around us all. And we're becoming kind of invisible because it's necessary. No foreign energies are allowed to penetrate the wall while we're doing this today, because they will try. Something about a satellite as well. Another satellite will fall. Just crack, it's got to fall. Oh, it's like the gods are playing baseball. Whack, right out of the sky. If you don't think they watch you, you're wrong. They watch a lot of things. They watch a lot of things. Not only did they listen, they watch you too. You have less privacy than you are aware of. Okay. And then the Galactic Federation is stepping forward. Of course, I call on the energies of God again. They were open, but I'm just recalling them in. Many angels and higher beings, the lions are surrounding us. So all of the galactic masters, there's a lot of Pleiades beings coming forward. Calling on the elemental energies this time as well. So wind, earth, fire, water. Wind, earth, fire, water. And elemental realm energies. Wind, earth, fire, water, and elemental energies. This is like an energetic vortex. It's an element. I don't know how else to explain that. And the world is literally dividing into two right now. It has to. So I separated the two earths a long time ago, but now it's like the lives on the planet are literally divided into two. They're taking me back to one of my very first visuals that I had, where it was like darkness on one side, light on the other, and I was in the middle. And I was frustrated because I didn't understand why I was in the middle. It's like, why am I not on either side? Now I get it. That depiction has come into play. Okay, this is like a full circle moment from that time frame. Some of you might remember me doing that. It was quite a long time ago now. So there is literally no light on one side and light on the other. We can't have too much more in between. This is why I was doing that video, because we were running out of time. They're also saying an unexpected veil is being lifted. So this is another huge mass awakening. And then something with the moon. So hang on just a moment. I'm calling in the moon. And like I'm grabbing the moon in my hand and I'm pixelating it and I'm taking a lot of pieces apart. So I don't know what the hell they've done to the moon. Remember I did something to the moon before and a satellite fell. They had it like it's controlled. It is like almost like an alien base. It's not a joke. It's very controlled. It was manipulated. It was moved. It was supposed to block the sun. Okay, isn't today a full moon as well? Because I see it as whole, and I'm chills. I'm pixelating it, and I have to rebuild it. I have to rebuild the moon. The goddess of the moon, Lunali. The god of the sun, the eye of Ra, Machu Picchu, Peru, and Indonesia are being called in. They've already been awakened in the area, but there are other pyramids there too. So we are prepping this energy, opening all of this up, and you guys can just relax. Palms up if you can for receptive mode. Just breathe. It's very important to make sure you're breathing throughout this entire process. This is a huge energetic shift. This is big. This is like a tsunami of energetic wave, okay? We're a little bit more prepped than the collective whole, so it will be hitting a lot of others harder than it will hit us. It will be felt in every single soul on this planet, not only felt energetically, but visually. So just imagine we are all sitting around the Sphinx. There are 3 fire pits in the center. 3 fire pits, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottoms, making a triangular form. This is large. This is very, very, very large. On the mountains and the planet, there are crystals underneath them. I'm not sure people are aware of that. These are crystals from the beginning of time. They're very large deposited crystals that lie underneath pyramids, underneath these big mountains like Kilimanjaro. I will be activating that today. My DM will be filling that with blue light underneath Kilimanjaro. This is big, and it will energetically explode. It has to be released. It has to be awakened. 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 So I'm calling in all of the energy from before and to this day, all of the energy of my DM and I. They are literally taking our energy and combining them. It's more than just these connections, like almost, I don't know how else to explain it, but they're powerfully pulling our energy together. And then the way I see it, you guys, it's like Jesus is very large, okay? And he's laying down on the earth, and it's like he's just all of a sudden rises, just all of a sudden rises. And this is kind of how it's playing out in the collective whole. They didn't see it coming. It just all of a sudden rises. So as we're sitting around this spot, I've called in the elements. The elements are beginning to circulate around our energetic vortex. We are surrounded by lions. We are surrounded by gods and goddesses, kings and queens, titans, soul movers, game changers. Solidifying this energy. This is very powerful. Calling in again the energy of our loved ones, our ancestors, and combining completely with our higher self for this one, because we need to. So it's like that. We need that power. solidified in protection, solidified in love, solidified in the light of the one. So be it, and so it is. Game changer. That's what they're calling this one. A very big game changer. Brace yourselves. Okay. So they're still doing the activations, DNA light codes, those kinds of things, prepping. Gigi's being a little bit extra, like I said. What they call the mothership, what we call the docking station, is coming into play. We have to leave the planet so I can blow up Kilimanjaro. That's what I call it because the energy vortex is quite large. My DM is walking the equator line energetically. He is placing blue light across the equator line. He's also helping me with the moon. So it's almost as if he grabbed the moon in his hand, just like I did. And we're rebuilding the moon. We're like allowing it to read the sun. They weren't reading each other properly. How do I explain this? So there's like a bubble around the earth. Remember the bubble of protection of Christ? It is now reflecting out. The galaxy is watching. So we are being watched big time. This is not by darkness. This is by light. People who want to witness. So there's a lot of witness here. It's like magnified, like a fishbowl. I'm beginning to draw a line from the core of the earth to Kilimanjaro. My DM is walking the equator line to Myanmar, Indonesia, excuse me, and Peru. So the pyramids I activated in Myanmar, Indonesia, and Peru, they're having him fill with blue light as well. Remember last time, I think it was, Prometheus flipped the earth upside down. That is also very relevant. What they call a Mandela effect is occurring now. The reality shift, another one. God is coming in and putting some light between my heart and my DMs. Bit of repair. Bit of recognition from God. He's putting his hands on my head, like my face. They're quite large, but energetically, it's not. Okay. I'm also seeing a picture of the beginning of time to when he created. So I'm seeing God create me, Eve and Adam. Love, just so much love. The creation of time. So something about like the seventh day, on the seventh day, on the seventh day, God created time. On the third, which is today, God changed time. Seventh day to the third day. I'm seeing everything. I'm just seeing the beginning of time. I'm seeing how everything developed and how happy and miraculous and beautiful, and like the plans got changed, manipulated, taken. And then again, I see the fallen angels coming down and laughing and taking over. Like, watch me. Watch me. God literally picked up the fallen angel and flicked him off of the planet. It's time. It's time to reap what you sow. It's time. It's time to regain what's in flow. It's time. It's time to change all the time. Okay, a stairway opened up into the earth. My DM is still doing things. So my DM is actually coming around you guys. I'm filling you with masculine energy and healing and repair. And I have to go down these stairs. These stairs opened up into the earth underneath Mount Kilimanjaro. Okay. I am beginning to descend on these stairs. You guys are beginning to get healings. So your angels and guides, your higher beings, and the galactic beings are coming around you. Has to do with your skin, your integumentary system, again, your central nervous system, your gallbladder, like your organs are also getting an upgrade today to 7D, evolution at its finest. And I'm going to begin descending down these stairs. So all you guys have to do is just breathe, feel, and witness. And these stairs are quite long. And I'm going to begin walking them, and I'm going to be going down into the earth. Also over. And we're stopping the earth from spinning at this time. We have to stop the movement. And I'm putting my finger in the portal of time and stopping all time. This is where the point again, where everything meets in the center. Everything that has ever happened stops and meets in the center. In the eye of Ra. Literally blowing wind, and it's like creating changes amongst the earth. Guys, I'm seeing an army of the gods, an army of the pharaohs, every being of light, every army of light is marching along the planet at this time, together, joining forces, uniting as one. 144,000 are being drawn up energetically, like from the third eye up into a centripetal point. I'm walking to the spot under Mount Kilimanjaro still. It's quite a distance energetically. I have to walk the path, so that is what I'm doing. Okay, we blew up the moon. It's being rebuilt. That's what they're showing me. It's just, it blew up. Like, it can't be repaired. It blew up. And they're rebuilding it. It is going to change in a very big way. DNA, genetically, the moon is changing. It has to align with 7D, and it was 3rd-D. The DM is doing that now. And he's filling the moon with masculine energy. It was deprived of that. It's filling it with beautiful blue light. reinventing its purpose. And he's using the sun as well. So the sun is filled with my feminine energy, feminine light, and he's drawing it in for balance and repairing the moon with blue light. And I am drawing an energy from the crystalline grid as I'm walking this path. It's like I'm using my hands and I'm drawing in the energy. I'm calling it in. I'm bringing it in. I'm pulling it in. I'm pulling it in. I'm pulling it in. All the pyramids are moving to align to me, going to Mount Kilimanjaro. My DM will join me after I activate the crystal. Almost there. So as I'm pulling in energy, I'm lighting up the crystalline grid. This is a very powerful grid. This is a different grid. It's time. It's time to activate this grid. This is a hidden dormant grid. It will be filled with my light and my DM's light. You get the I feel like giants. Like my DM and I are giants. We were all giants comparatively. We're quite large. He's moving water. He's moving water. He's shifting the water. Okay, I told you Fiji too. So he's drawing up masculine light through the pyramid under the water in Fiji. He's aligning the moon with that a little bit. So I don't know the relevance of that, but he's taking blue light up through the pyramid in Fiji and he's matching it with the moon. The moon was not right. It was off track. It was not right. So not only is he repairing the moon, he's placing it on a new track. So you know how in our solar system, every planet, it's all like this invisible line that keeps it all together. And the moon was on a separate track. It was not a correct track. It was not a correct path. They switched it. It's being realigned, reinvented, repurposed. And then DNA activations for 7D. That's not a joke, for the moon. And then it goes into our heart space. All healing is being done for you on the earth at this time. And when we go into the docking station, it's just to protect you from what I'm about to do. It's like separating you from the collective whole. Truth be told, truth unwinds. Truth unwinds. Truth unwinds. All the contamination and the God frequencies are being removed and misaligned. The planets are coming into play. So there's a planetary alignment shift. I have to realign the planets slightly as well to realign with the moon and that of the earth and that of 7D. And we do have 3 new planets entering in our solar system now. My DM and I are sharing a scroll of this one for Kilimanjaro. Remember that like silk path and the between us two? The scroll literally is like being opened along that path between my DM and I. And as we read it, the scroll will come together and he and I will come together. That's not a joke. My DM and I causal chakras are being combined. I have reached underneath Mount Kilimanjaro. So there is like this grid under here. It's like this grid. There's one main crystal, and then because it is a pyramid, they're showing me this. It's beautiful. There's like this main crystal. Okay, it's very quite large. It's almost like opal-esque. You know how opals have this multicolors? That's how it looks. It's like white and pure white, but then it shines different colors, pink and green and blues and yellows. It's very, 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 very beautiful. It's taking my breath away. Forgive me. So my flame will fill this one, and so will my DMs. This is going to be quite powerful. So both of our hands will touch it, and we will send light through it and we have to activate this one together. This is very, very, very powerful. This is the final combination of the masculine and feminine combined. And as we read the scroll, we will unite. And I see this energy vortex. It's quite insane. So the whole world opened up and everything disappeared except for our existence. So everything around us, just like before, just crumbled and fell apart. It's like, I see more fires popping up. And again, something underwater, volcano. There's an underwater volcano, and as he is filling Fiji with blue light, it's shaking, it's trembling, it's rising even more and even more and even more. There's like new islands that will pop out of there too eventually. Okay. So the way this one's going to work is here in a moment, you guys will be taken to the docking station. You have to be removed from the earth. Remember, the time is stopped right now. Once I do that, I will begin reading the scroll. My DM is doing his part. I will touch this crystalline grid and activate it with the white. This is white divine light. This is my divine light. This has nothing to do with pink and blue, everything to do with everything. I hope that makes sense. It's taking all that I have too. It's taking every bit of that I have. And Jesus is holding my heart in his hands, my physical heart, because I can already feel the pain. It's not meant to take this one on necessarily by myself. So he will make sure he holds it in his hand and it doesn't take on too much. Like I'm like hesitant to put my hands on this crystal because once I do, it begins. So your guides are beginning to remove you from the energetic circle energy that we are in and taking you to the docking station. So you are being lifted up and you are being brought to the staircase, whatever you want to call it, the way to get into the docking station now. My DM is activating those pyramids, still running blue light through the ones in Myanmar, Peru, also Machu Picchu in Indonesia. And then he's lighting up the equator line even more. So people are going to notice that the alignments are off. Okay, so not only is my heart being, I can feel it, you guys, like so is the heartbeat of the earth. It's being comforted, supported, and protected. God is filling me with Christ's light now. A lot of it going down into my crown, all through my vessel. This is a massive amount of Christ's light. So in other words, it's like humankind could not hold this. I could feel it like expanding my molecules. It's insane. Maximum light. And then he's doing it to my DM as well, filling him with this most massive amount of power of Christ's light, just like he did when we were born, when he created us. We are in his eyes. Oh, the chills. Okay. I'm going to begin reading the scroll and I'm going to place my hand on this crystal. I'm just like hesitant, like I said. You guys are up in the docking station and safe. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. So as I've called in the power, this crystalline grid, I'm taking the blue light and the pink light from our regular crystalline grid, and also God's light from the beginning of time and from just now. And I'm beginning to draw it through the crystalline grid into the area of Mount Kilimanjaro. It's like lighting them up. Boop, 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 boop. All of these crystals underneath these pyramids, out of every one we've activated, are lighting up. Boop, boop, boop. I've never done it like this before. This is not just as simple as me activating the pyramid. This is taking into the crystals underneath the pyramidal grid. They are power centers. Everything changes when you love someone, and what the world needs now is love. Everybody can feel it in their heart. They can feel it if not see it. They can feel it if not see it. There's a big shift. All right, you guys are up into the ship. Now you're going to a different space. So usually you guys go to your little pods within the docking station. It is more like the center, what I call a spa place, where you're like adorned in water and cleansing and healing. There's a water push here. So they're going to use water from the Pleiades galaxy, this docking station. They're going to use it to cleanse your system, to upgrade your foot chakras, your hand chakras, your everything that needs cleaned, healed, and upgraded. It's being done with water. It's almost like you're on a different planet at this time. And I'm literally moving the planets. I have to move over Saturn a little bit. I have to move Uranus. I have to move some other new planets. I'm like drawing them closer in. Remember how everybody's like kind of like watching this. This is a big deal. Okay. And then all of these crystals underneath the pyramids are lighting up. Boop, boop. They're activated, they're turning on. And I'm finally reaching my hand out to touch the crystal under Mount Kilimanjaro. As I did it, it's like so much energy blowing through me. Like I'm lit up white again, like my eyes are white, my hair is white, everything is white. White is coming out of the palm of my hands, this white light, divine light, maximum light, the white flame. I'm using the white flame. I'm using the white flame, and it's going to come through my hand and into this crystal. I'm going to start reading the scroll, and my DM is starting on his end. And as we read it, we're going to come together, and then his hand's going to go on the crystal, and it's going to be very powerful. Again, he's like so much love in my heart, and here, what the world needs now is love, pure love. Okay, I'm so dizzy, and it's white flame going into this crystal, and it's filling up Kilimanjaro first and going to all the other pyramids at the same time, you guys, at the same time. And my DM is still doing blue light through all the other ones too. He's like holding the grid of blue as I'm doing the white light. So he has a blue flame, but it's also connected to my white flame. Okay. It's like the white flame with a blue hue around it. All right. I'm like hesitant. I don't know why I'm like scared, but I'm like hesitant. They're saying, do it, go now. So as I'm doing this, the gods are surrounding areas. Okay. So they're surrounding areas. They're moving what they need to move. Eketa angu, unga akeketa ang, bayeta angu, bayeta kangu, lupa kate kiti angu, The electricity they use now is not, it's foreign to our land. Okay, so I see a lot of like electricity exploding. I see like power lines like exploding. And then the crystalline grid is filling up with maximum power and divine Christ light. And all of the pyramids are becoming fully activated at this time. And I will finish with Kilimanjaro. So there's one under Fiji. Our scroll is drawing closer and closer. And he's drawing blue light into all the other ones as well. Elements should be free. So I see a lot of like tornado twistings. Oh my gosh, there's like a lot of chatter and like wow and like celebrations, and I hear it. I hear like a lot of chatter. I have to rotate the crystal here. It's a little bit off alignment. I have to fix the alignment under Kilimanjaro. It's almost as if somebody tried to sabotage. It was in the Holy Grail. Oh, so something to do with the Holy Grail took the power away from Kilimanjaro. Oh shit, they know what I'm doing. The Holy Grail, part of what it said, it took the power from the crystalline grid, and they held that power. That's what they were using as much as they could. Foreign land. You guys, other gods and goddesses are putting their hand on this crystal that we all are gonna, we have to, so it doesn't like explode. It's growing. So the crystal is expanding because we're upgrading to 7D. All crystals are now being upgraded underneath the pyramids to 7D. And then in our third eye is being upgraded to match it. More activations for the sun for 7D as well. Oh shit. I'm watching Mount Kilimanjaro explode. So I'm seeing all of this like fire just blow out of the top of it, like boom, it just blew up. Power activation. So the light is climbing up the sides of Mount Kilimanjaro. It's climbing up the sides of it and it's trembling around it. The earth is just like feeling the movement. I'm not done yet. I'm touching this crystal. It's slowly filling with my light. And then the gods and goddesses are helping balance it. Okay, we're holding it into place. The earth's dirt is shaping around it again, kind of setting it into its center. Did you know the core of the earth is more like a crystal grid as well? Holy shiitake. I didn't know that. It's like a whole separate crystalline grid that I am now rebuilding. So that the core of the earth can generate through the crystalline grid into the pyramidal flow. This is the life support of the earth. We do it. That's what they undid. I get that. Do. This is what Tesla would talk about. This is what he saw some of it. I get down. I'm curious. Did he say anything about Kilimanjaro? They corrupted, they did something to Einstein. He was silenced a little bit. I don't know if we're aware of that. The DM and I are drawing closer. It's filling with light. It's filling with light. As he's drawing closer, he is putting blue light in all of the crystalline grid underneath the pyramids. And there's so much energy flow, you guys, like blowing my hair backwards. I'm having a hard time holding on to this crystal. It's not a joke. And the whole crystalline grid is being rebuilt from the core out to the pyramidal grid. So what we thought was a crystalline grid was a third dimensional one. This is quite large. It's quite a large grid, kind of like depicted in the geometric flow, right? You know how there's like so much layers to the geometric flow. That's how our crystalline grid looks. So the actual crystalline grid from the core to the pyramids to the outer earth looks like the flower of life. I'm explaining to the Galactic Federation what I'm doing. Okay, this is like fire. So as my DM is closer to me, when he puts his hand on this crystal for Kilimanjaro, the energy from the core of the earth is going to burst out through every pyramid we have activated, including Kilimanjaro. It's a different activation. I've never done before. Something to do with, remember how God, the beginning of time, day 7 and day 3, they're combining, and this is going into the information. If you guys think God is not paying attention to everything right now, he is very much so. It's like the recreation of time. Another underwater volcano is moving, it's shifting, and it's erupting. It has to release this energy. Do you understand? These have to release. These have to release. So not only did I stop time, I'm starting to rewind it backwards slightly. So time is starting to go backwards slightly. The whole crystalline grid is built and repaired and built from the core out to underneath the pyramids. Those crystals are activated. It's like a heartbeat, it's like the power center. My DM is right up next to me now. And he's putting his arm around me. So those connections, it's like our skin is combining. It's so much energy vortex between the two of us. It's taking both of us, all of this light, all of this power together. I'm still like hesitant. Like, wait. I like, stop waiting. So both of our hands are now going on to this crystal. Then something to do with our heart space is like crystalline. It's crystalline. And the earth's Merkaba. And I'm stopping the power from going through all the way till they're ready. Now your higher self is also getting an upgrade. This is very interesting. It's like okay, the tree of life, Garden of Eden, third eye from higher self. Everything is being connected and woken and spoken. Okay, my hands are on it, my DMs, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, right? So we're in this lifetime, it's more like Adam and Eve. Okay. And Jesus and Mary Magdalene, all of the gods and goddesses, all of our hands are on this crystal, and we're going to hold it in place as the light begins to extremely fill it and explode out of Mount Kilimanjaro. It is now being awoken. And it cracked down the side as it's waking up. So they had done something. They moved like the crystal. So we're slightly moving it over before we completely fill it with this earth light. Huya tiang kawaya tai kuya ya bai ke ai tia ke taya bai ke taya ambaya ang ke taya kuduaya kuduaya. Now the light is flowing up bai ke taya to kudumbaya ke taya. Is just blowing out the top of Bikita. And I hear people going, like there was no warning at all. I have to say that there was no warning at all. They don't get one. Mount Kilimanjaro is exploding. It's completely lighting up blue and white, all of the sides of it. The main one, there's like a main one. That's the best thing I can say. It's very big, it's very large, and all this light flowing between my DM and I. Like if you could see it, it's almost like our skin is like blowing, like our hair is blowing. It's so much power going in to this crystal, and the crystal has to flow. We take it down, go to the getting it down, yeah. Ayaka batay ang gitu biti ketaya down, yeah. Yeah. Wow. So what I'm seeing now is the heartbeat of the earth is now flowing through this crystalline grid into the crystals of the pyramidal flow. We have completed the flow through the pyramids. This is the heartbeat. This is the life support in which we reside in from this moment forward. Those that cannot align do not belong. Activating the earth's core a little bit more, because the core of the earth will flow through this grid and into the power crystals, which keep the pyramids and the earth alive. This is like the life support. The earth's energy releasing points are also shifting. And now we're slowly starting to allow time to go forward. And let me tell you, this volcano is quite large. It like expands quite far. It's quite energetically active. It's not dormant no more. Oh no, it's rumbling, it's moving. I cracked the side of it. It's alive. It is very much alive. It is very much alive. And the earth will release where she needs to release now. It's shifted. They're like, wow, like now the earth is starting to spin slowly in normal flow. They get that because it has to align with the crystalline grid and the power center of the earth. Saint Germain is writing everything in the Akashic records. Our past lives are all fully combined. Something about the third day and the seventh day of God's creation. I'm gonna have to look that up, but he just wants me to say that. Third day and seventh day of God's creation. They lied to you. The power center is through the crystalline grid underneath the pyramids. The crystals give life, support to the earth through the core and through my light and my DMs. That is the earth you reside on now. So the moon is now like, whenever we do changes, we have to make sure it's accepting the changes done. So that's what's going on with the moon. The sun and the moon are now communicating, and whatever was on the moon must die. There is things on the moon. Don't believe what they show you. And then the moon is being rotated quarter turn and moved over slightly to the left on the grid of the alignment of the planetary system. So this is like phase 2 of unblocking the sun. And then massive sun spout being poured to the earth at this time. And into the core and into the crystalline grid. This is huge. I'm talk about a solar flare wave. This is like waves of solar flare going into the core and out into the pyramidal grid. Okay, so now you want to think the earth is spinning faster. Oh, it is. And it will continue to do so. The crystals will continue to communicate with the pyramids. I had no idea this was the final component to that. Whoa. So the gods and goddesses are going to hold that crystal, but my DM and I have removed our hands now. It's too much energetic removal for me. And I'm getting my heart back, basically. So Jesus kind of held my heart for that time frame because it's taken a beating. And then your hearts. So they're doing a healing and an upgrade on your actual heart. It must be evolving. Our hearts will be larger, not like bad. This is like we will grow in size as we move on. Future-wise, evolution. The 144,000 are rising. And be ready for the big flash. This had to be done for the big flash, the big light, a massive movement of light. It will go through the pyramids, through the crystalline grids that we have just activated and combined and aligned, like an explosion of light. So now I'm focusing on you guys in the docking station. Oh my gosh. Okay, so hang on. I have to go to my brain because they said I'm close to an aneurysm. So they're going into my hang on, my vasostructure, vasodilation. And they're cleaning out some of my things to my head. There's a blockage. They're removing a blockage from the base of my head. And that hurts. It doesn't feel good. Ah, it's like blasting it in pieces. And then it's going to be like a blood flow rush. but a controlled kind. All right. As they're doing that, I'm focusing now back on you guys. And what we're going to do now before you leave the docking station is you are going to get so much like sun. Like this is sun activations codes, more light codes. Very beautiful. This is very beautiful. Healing in the rays. And then your integumentary system. So it's being evolved to another level. You could feel this. You could actually develop rashes and everything. It's okay if you do. It'll be temporary. They have to upgrade our integumentary system and then our organs. So now they're upgrading your organs after they cleanse you with all that water. Your organs are being upgraded. They're evolving. We have to evolve every which way. And then the crystalline grid that I just activated to the pyramids is going to go into your energy as well. So kind of like I do with drawing the light up through your system, we're going to do it from that crystalline grid of the pyramid activations. It's life support. Okay, we'll all be connected to it. So it's beginning to draw up now. They're going to control it and draw it up into your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees. And as they're doing this, they're going to bring you out of the docking station. As I'm drawing up the light from the crystalline grid of the pyramids and the core of the earth. Whoa. So there is like a big shake around Kilimanjaro and it exploded. It's going to explode like 3 times. I don't know if it's just energetic or actual literal. I don't know. All I know is I see it blowing up 3 times. 3. Remember 3 and 7? 3. Boom. Brrr, boom. And then the final will be a really, really big one. And then they keep saying crack it too. But get it down, good too. Drawing this light up further into your thighs, into your root chakra, allowing your root chakra to expand as they are bringing you back to your physical vessel. I am drawing up the light from the crystalline grid through your root, and we're expanding it as you are finally coming back to yourself. Drawing the light up into your sacral and expanding it. And I feel a lot of pressure on my backside into my hips. It's really hard for our system to accept this all, so just give it a moment. Drawing this light up into your navel and your solar plexus, up into your heart and your throat, and around your center. So there's more chakras than our main ones. It's going through all of them. Our causal also. This is big. So all of the 144,000, I am activating their causal chakra with the light of the crystalline grid. Boom. It's like a big, huge awakening. Light came on. Boom. Oh, snap. We are preparing. This is the final, like, this is we're going to talk about an army of light. That's the best thing I can say. Oh yeah. There's a major army of light. Oh man, you can't penetrate this either. I wouldn't dare. Oh, the chills that are rising up through me. So you guys are flowing with this light from the crystalline grid. It's going to continue to do so. Your organs can feel funky. Your body can feel funky. Just give it time to process and purge and move. Archangel Michael is helping to ground you and put you into your vessel. It's almost like an escape. Doesn't want to go back in. You guys, the docking station is moving. It's moving. They're moving it. They have to move it. They have to move it for safety purposes because of the activations that I just did. They don't want to blow up. I don't know where it was, but it's moving. So they're like putting everything back together, and they're literally moving it. It's going to move across the planet to another side, another location. It's still in our atmosphere. But with the activations I just did, there's going to be some major movements on the planetary grid. And this took everything that I had. It's not a joke. partly because of the separation with the DM. He is being pulled towards me. He cannot remain separated. Okay, so now you guys are back to yourself. So you can kind of start feeling your bodies. Okay. And I'm drawing a line up through all the pyramids to the moon and to the sun. Now it's flowing from the pyramids up to the moon and to the sun. Keep in mind, this is a different moon. And then back down from the sun. So it's like this complete energetic vortex is going to continue to circle. The power grid of the earth is different now after today. It flows underneath the pyramids and through the pyramidal flow. That is the heartbeat of the planet. Do you understand? So they're actually taking notes from what I did. They're learning from what I did. It's new to them. They're evolving also. Pleiades, I told you guys that. They're expanding in their knowledge base, but they could do. So they have their own Akashic record space that is also being written and recorded. Each one of you is getting a gift in your left palm of healing from Jesus. This is an ability of healing and 7D kind from Jesus. Okay, things that were taken from us. Remember, I went back to the Holy Grail. Oh, snap. So now that all of the 144,000, all the light beings are like flowing and activated, God is throwing Christ light through everything through me and my DM. So it goes through me and my DM first and into all of the 144,000 minus a couple. We've lost a couple. That's okay. Not a big deal. Makes no difference, honestly. Not for what we need. It was their choice, but it doesn't hurt us any. And we are all connected to the heartbeat of the crystalline grid and 7D. And we are preparing to be receptive for this event. That's what they call it. What I see is a big flash of light, but they won't call it anything beyond an event. They won't really put a name to what it is. All right, so they're making sure the earth is spinning. The gods and goddesses will keep working the crystals underneath the pyramids. They're going to keep making sure they're aligned and flowing. We are now back in our vessels. They're going to be closing out the healing from today, but they're anchoring in all the work that was done. So you will continue to have upgrades, continue to have an awakening. You will continue to feel the work flow. Okay, so be mindful. It's going to feel a little like a foreign object. We're going to feel lonely, yet we're not alone because it's so weird. We're not used to that. Oh, I keep hearing like this, you know how like earth begins to break apart and like things just explode out. That's what I'm hearing. It's a big shift. So I'm hearing it like a big shift across the planet, like things moving and cracking and kind of exploding and changing. And then something with Hawaii needs to be realigned. So I'm literally kind of taking the hub of Hawaii and we're moving it over. It's too close to an underwater pyramid or a volcano. Oh yeah, there's a volcano there. And I guess it's also a pyramid, but we're just moving it. So we're kind of just moving. How do I put this? I'm slightly moving over Hawaii because we don't want to lose it all, right? Okay, my DM has one more job to do. So from the top of Kilimanjaro, he's filling it with blue light. He's like pouring blue light down inside, pouring blue light down inside. It's going into the heart of the volcano, or the pyramid, I should say. down into the crystalline grid, and it's just flowing through. It's just all this blue light. He has to help the balance. This is about a balance cleanse. I was about to have a brain aneurysm. That's what they're telling me. Okay, and so you know I move some planets. We're just making sure they are aligning and not trying to escape their new positioning. Kind of like an implant, right? Astrology grid is changing. So I've said that before. The astrological grid would change, and it's being rewritten. It's a new blueprint of the astrological grid. And then I see like the mind's eye, you know what I mean? And then the eye of Ra. So all of this is coming into play. The astrological grid is shifting. Those that are connected to it are getting an awakening in that. So it's a DNA activation as I'm shifting the astrological grid. This is where your indigos would come into play. It's like an awakening. Boom, 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 boom. It's time. Boom, you got to wake up. It's time. Boom, you got to wake up. It's time. Boom, you got to wake up. It's time. And they're getting like a download of a visual of the new astrological grid. New blueprint of many kinds occurred today. It is an accumulation of all the work combined. This is what they took away. They took away so much. They changed so much of our planet. That's what happened. And they would just call it like meteors and evolution and blah, 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 when it was truly them cutting off the life support of our earth and changing it into something that's theirs. So some people's DNA did change. So remember how I told you, like the V would cut you off from life support, changes our DNA. They are readjusting that, who we are, what we have left. It's being readjusted in the crystalline grid. All right, so I want you guys to start focusing on your breath. Just draw up some breath from your feet, up into your heart, and back down. Draw up breath from into your feet, from the earth, all the way up into your heart space, and back down. You are connecting to the crystalline grid of the pyramidal flow. We are grounding you to the crystalline grid of the pyramidal flow. Breathing in the energy into our feet, up into our heart, and releasing it back down. Whenever you feel off moving forward, it is suggested that you do that. Breathe in energy from the earth up into your heart from your feet, and release it back down. You're going to feel upside down. You're going to feel like a foreign object on this planet. That's because we are. The planet shifted in a very big way. We are aligned and we are ready. It's like how you line your troops up for the final annihilation. My DM just put a wedding dress on me. That's beautiful. And instead of a veil, it's like this beautiful crown. It's gorgeous. Oh my. Ooh. Oh my. And then he's putting flowers around my wrist and around my neck. Oh my. So beautiful. Oh, so chills. Oh my. Okay, so I'm seeing if there's anything else I need to do. They are closing out your energetic this thing for what we've done. We're closing it out. Okay. So the bubble, the vortex of all of these activations over this last month are being closed out, solidified and anchored in. Akashic Records is recorded. And then again, I hear what the world needs now. And so we are all flowing with Christ light and with love. And it's like pulsating all over this planet. And if you think for a second that doesn't make them uncomfortable, oh boy, they are so uncomfortable and they are outnumbered now. They have no power. They have nothing to anchor into. And we are ready. Oh, we are ready. We just tipped the scale in a very, very big way. It's light is dominant now. Okay, light is dominant now. This whole earth is vibrating and pulsating with Christ's light, and they don't have any leg to stand on. None. All right. So take your time because I feel horrible. So I want you guys taking your focus to the bottom of your feet and just kind of start moving your feet and your toes, moving your legs and your hips. Now, God is asking everybody to take more time going inward, taking more time communicating and co-creating. Okay, it's very, very, very important because if you are not practicing, if you are not actively using that light as a muscle, it can become quite weak and we need it strong. And we might miss things because things are happening quickly. So take your time. It is like the end days, right? So we've got to make sure we're flexing that muscle of connection. That's the best way to put it. So if you don't feel strong, it's because you haven't done enough. If you feel disconnected, it's because you've been a little behind. So just get out there, flex the muscle, okay? Flex your muscle, get connected, use it more for those that need to. We need a strong, it's like having a strong heart, right? It's like flexing that muscle, building the strength of the co-creation and connection of the 7D kind. And God is saying thank you. It's all witness. This was witness more than you know. But get don't do. But they get don't do. All right. When you guys feel like you are ready, you can open your eyes. Come to, but I want you kind of sitting for a moment before you try to move too much. I'm so dizzy. I can't see straight. The pain in my head is gone. It was so painful. It's still there a little bit, but it was bad. I must remain in balance, for I disrupt the balance of the whole galactic kind. It is a responsibility. It is something I worked towards and earned. It wasn't just given to me. So I must accept it. And that's what they're saying. It's like, we know it's hard, but you must accept this responsibility. And now I'm being crowned, like almost like recognized by the Galactic Federation. So they're giving me their own little like crown on my head. Oh my gosh. So I'm like an authority. So they can't do anything outside of my permission. That's insane. That's a responsibility. Oh, I just got chills like crazy. So the DM will continue putting his vibration through the planet. It's like a different vibration. It's very beautiful. Gorgeous. Oh, she said she felt the pain in my neck and hers at the same time. Yeah, there was I thought for a second yesterday I might be having one, because I am at higher risk for aneurysms and blood clots, and I already had a blood clot in our second pyramid activation, was it? But it got healed. Remember when the DM like sent healing at my leg? It really did heal. The next day the bruising was going away, because it turned black. So although it took a toll, I've been quite supported. I am so dizzy though. Make sure you guys stay hydrated, please, because that was a lot. Oh, Amy says her whole body's buzzing. Mine too. And I'm like getting so many chills. It's insane. I thought it was a full moon tonight. Yep, that's what I thought. So that was relevant for why we did it today. I didn't plan that out, right? Spirit always tells me when and how and what to do. And it just so happens that it ends on a full moon. And what was God said to do on the 7th and 3rd day? Let's look that up really quickly. What was it said that God created on the 3rd day and on the 7th day? By creating land first on day 3, God was preparing for the creation of vegetation of all kinds. The Lord was intimately involved. Let me read that. Okay. So day 3 was the creation of the land. That's relevant. Amy fell asleep for a bit. Tired but good, Gigi said. 3rd day, way change. Yeah. So let's see. Using the foundation he created on the 1st day of creation, the Lord began to form the earth into a place suitable for life. On day 3 through 6, the Lord was filling the earth, which had been formless and empty. On day 1, it was empty. Dry ground. And God said, let the water under the sky be gathered into one place and let the dry land appear. And it was. Let's see. Okay, the seas, Genesis 1:10. He separated the waters that were created on day 1 from the dry ground, and he called these waters the seas. Da, 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 da. Okay, just give me a clear answer. It's like I don't want to read through all of this stuff. Let me ask separately. What did God create on day 3? Okay, dry land and the plants were created on day 3, so life-supporting materials. Okay. 4th day, God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. Water and sky and animals were made on the 5th day, and on the 6th day, the land animals and the people were created. Okay. So what was on the 7th day of creation? God blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it, God rested from all his work that he had done in creation. So it's like tying those together. 7th day is called Sabbath, but that's more religious. So remember, the 7th day would be Monday, wouldn't it? No, would that be Sunday? I don't know. So it had everything to do with the land and tying all creation. That's what I'm getting out of that. Okay. Very, 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 very interesting. I don't know. Consciously distracted at times. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like that happens easily. There was a lot. There was like a channeling for over an hour, and I lose track of time. I'm just like in it. To me, it seems like no time at all, because I'm just doing what they show me to do, walking through what I'm seeing. It's literally just like coming through me at real time. I didn't know that's what today was. I had no clue. I thought we were just going to be doing like we always did before, where I was activating pyramids. No, we finally awoken the crystalline grid underneath the pyramids, and I awakened Kilimanjaro. It is not dormant. It is an awakened pyramid. And something about 3 again. So on the 3rd day, he did something with the land, right? And then that kind of came out for that. So definitely land shifting. That's how I'm taking that. I will recommend that if you guys are going to go do anything right after, take your time. I don't know if you feel like I do, but I feel completely disconnected from reality. Yes, and we are being readied for massive change. Absolutely. Okay, Gigi, so just make sure you drink water and ground a bit. Like take your time getting up, okay? If it's driving or anything like that, just take your time. Just don't rush into anything, like don't move quickly. I feel like that's the best thing. Just kind of move slowly, stand up slowly, okay? Drink water, lots of water, and just keep connecting to the earth. That will help you. Because I feel like I'm detached a little bit. And my head hurts so bad now. So that was definitely different. I'm still processing some of that. I thank you guys for being here with me today. It's been one hell of a journey this last week or 2 or 3 or 4 that we've been doing these. So I'm excited to see what comes next. Yeah, Gigi's like, wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that was a lot. Gigi, you got 3 others to connect to also. So take your time with them. Don't do them all in one day, ever. I think that would be way too much of a jolt on your system. Okay. Yeah, it was definitely powerful. And it makes so much sense. Nikola Tesla. What was that? I said something about him. I wonder if he mentioned Kilimanjaro being a pyramid. I'm curious about that. That'd be interesting to find out. He says, I feel buzzes and sleepy, thirsty for sure. We'll have to rewatch. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, angels and beings, for helping me heal to do this today, because I needed healings. And they're so amazing. I love them so much. And I love you guys for being here. I was hungry and thirsty throughout too. It's so interesting. I felt like I was going to throw up and I got really hungry. So go replenish. Self-love. I feel super tired all of a sudden. And it is what it is. I'm so glad you guys were here. It was beautiful. Give me a little bit of time to upload it, and I will be sending it out to you very soon. And I'm probably just going to go take a bath and relax, because I don't know what they did to my head, but I feel off. So much love to you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Allow it to process. And yay, yes, bath. I will be doing a live tomorrow too, if you guys want to come hang out with me on YouTube. That one's going to be a little bit earlier, so just keep your mind posted to that. All right. So much love, you guys.